Good morning, good morning. Looks like we're up and running. Nice sunny day today here. So far. But the forecast is the other way around. It's going to cloud over, I guess, in the afternoon. And we're looking for lots of rain tonight and tomorrow morning. So they tell us. But at the moment, it's a sunny morning in Asakusa. Good floater today. No beer kegs. We had 2 yesterday. Morning. Not too hot yet. It's been funny this year. I mean, they warned us that it was going to be a cooking year, but we haven't seen that yet so far. I know there's a couple of things with the weather here. It's a little cooler than we've been sort of expecting. And second is we still haven't had the rainy season here in Tokyo. It's like late by, I have no idea, a couple of weeks. Maybe it'll be one of those years. We do get those where the spring is what it is and it's windy and chilly, and then all of a sudden, bang, it's hot and dry for the summer. Don't know. Perhaps that's going to be one of these years. Someone's asking, is the paper out? Yes, paper's out for 2 people. Ishikawa-san is up there. She's doing some of the yokai series, a pair of the prints in the yokai series. And Dei-chan, she's doing the crane over the waves. There's a wave crashing and a crane falling on top of it. Dei-chan just finished this. She did this one. I had turned it in the other day. Do you know how this works? To show where's the camera? She's done a beautiful job. Rich, deep prints. I would have killed for a print like this, back in the early days before I came to Japan. And here I are, we're publishing these things. Look at that, that's the back side. You could look at that as a print. She's really good at this, She's upstairs. She's really good at this. She can't do this like 200 copies at a time. She doesn't have that kind of strength and stamina. I think there's a batch of 60 here. But that's fine. That's fine. I'll take whatever I can get. Turn one into a thin. I may have one. Why would I spoil a print? We've got people waiting for these. I'm not going to spoil one at all. Simple, effective design. Let's clear some space. There's so much stuff on the desk here. Oh, there's more to open. This is a print opening day today. And in fact, for the job today, I'm not sure. We've got a couple of options for today's job. Let's finish doing these openings. This is from, here it is. This is from Kawan-san. And again, the Japanese language class here today, Surihon, printed book. There's no book inside. This is the traditional term for a batch of prints. What we just saw was a Dei-chan's Surihon. And she says, Kei 80 mai, yoroshiku onegai shimasu. This is the print just returned from Kawan-san. We have 2 Kawais in the company. This is the lady Kawai, not Mr. K Kawai. This is Shiharu-san. What has she got? One of our classics. One of our classics. This is a tough one. This is very, very, very difficult. That last print I showed you was no piece of cake. Those gradations around the boat and stuff were difficult, but they're not complex. With the print like this, you put your light areas in first, then you bring in the darks, and you let the light glow in the middle. So it's layer after layer after layer, but you can see where you're going all the time. This one's much more complex because we have layers here. I don't even know where they go. I can't even explain what's happening. A smoke layer with another smoke layer, a background layer, a dragon body layer. We worked it out when Jed and I did this. That was 10 years ago or so, but at the moment I couldn't even possibly remember how this works. This is much more difficult. Much more difficult. And the paper, the quality of the paper to be able to take this beading, all these layers, one on top of another on top of another. This is Iwano-san's Hosho paper, you know. The reason that's in my mind right now is because the last few days I've been working on the next video script. The next video is going to be about paper making and things like this. I'm going up to Fukui Prefecture again in a couple of weeks to shoot some more video. And this has been in my mind, you know, this rich, thick Hosho paper that is now apparently coming to an end for us. Anyway. And we've got here, I think she's done 80 copies. Beautiful. Beautiful. And moving right along, my God, tax papers. We know who this is from. We know who this is from. Someone says, what kind of price for a piece like that? We don't have that print on our website. Jed is the exclusive agent for the Heroes prints, but it is $150, I believe, that print I just showed you. I don't know if Jed's website is open or closed. I have no idea. Well, this is not show and tell. I'm just trying to dig down through my bench to get to the work. Although maybe, let's open this first and then we'll decide what to do. Of course, this is Kubota-san. Look at this deck of prints. This guy's a professional. My God, this guy's a professional. We've sort of worked up here. Nei-chan gave me, 30 or 40 prints. Kawai-san sent in 80. This deck from Kubota-san, I think, has 200. Jedzen's website, is it open at the moment? I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. Whatever. Jeff, it is open at the moment. That print, the one that I just showed you, that must be in there. He calls it the Dragon's Gift. Speaking of dragons, Taran-san, are you there? Is Taran-san watching this morning? It's not a dragon we have here this morning. Try to get it right side up and it's upside down. It's no dragon, it's a snake. It's a snake. This, of course, is the next print in our series from the BM, the British Museum, Hokusai prints. This one's carved top to bottom, left to right, top to bottom, all by Taran-san. There's some fun stuff in here, there's some fun stuff. He traced the whole thing first. It took him ages and ages to trace it, then cut it all. Trying to decide, you've seen me doing this, trying to decide how much to how much to clean up, how much to leave. And he's working so hard to do this. Where's my pointing tool here? I don't want to draw on this thing. He's done it, you know. Each one of these strokes, Taran-san has worked hard to try and give all these the Hokusai random strokes. Boom, 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 boom. Look at them all. They all have taste. They have an entry and an exit. He's done this. He's gone to town with this, you know. And over here on the calligraphy, this is so alive. I'm just so happy that we've got another person on the team who can do this and see this. At this scale, I don't know. We need to expand this a bit more, can we? I don't know. Maybe that's all we're going to get. No, I should have left it where it was. Come on, focus, please. Focus. Look at these, couple of things on this. Okay, obviously you can see the way the brush goes in and sweeps down. If you didn't know this was a woodblock print, you could think it was all brush strokes. I don't know, how can a couple of things I can find to show here. Things like this. Look. Where are we? Okay, I don't know if we can post it. Inside here, this is a vertical stroke, goes down, stroke 1, stroke 2, stroke 3. But you can see every aspect of each stroke, that there's a little bump at the back side of this one. A B-grade carver wouldn't put that in. They would just have the tip here and slice down. Taran-san's done it. Look at this. He probably might get upset if I point this. Look at this. See the little ding, the little white ding there? That's where his knife has come in from the top stroke and touched just a little bit that one. Theoretically, this is like a mistake. It's not supposed to be there. But in real life, this is the life and soul of this carving. Do you see what I mean? There's the top stroke, 1, then the down, then 2, and then 3. But he's done it. He's obviously put this one in first. He's done these ones first. Then he's cut this one. And his knife has just touched it there. We see this in a couple of places. We see it over here again. Same thing here. We see the knife, when he's carved this upstroke, it's touched the other line. Now, theoretically, that's a mistake. Shouldn't be there. Wouldn't be there in a brush stroke, but that's what gives these damn things the life and taste and mood and feeling. And we see this everywhere, everywhere. This guy he's knocked this out of the park. This is also so difficult to do. This is not misregistration, this is intentional. Leaving a white, not a shadow, what's the opposite of the word shadow? A white highlight around this kimono pattern. Same thing here. These white lines here, the white spaces here, it's not a mistake, a misregistration. It's, of course, 3D effect on the scales. And again, to recap again, every one of the strokes, Hokusai did it, then Taran-san traced it, and then he carved it. The idea to make each one of these strokes look alive. They're just random dots on a stone. So there we have it. Designed by Hokusai, tracing, carving by Taran-san, printing by Kubota-san. This is not the full batch. We have over 400 subscribers to this series. This is the first 200. It then goes out for printing. I think it'll go out again now to Chiharu-san, the lady who did the Dragon Ball print. She will be the next one to do a batch of these. So this is now, that's 9 prints in our Hokusai series, leaving 3 more, right? No, this is 10. No, wait. What's this? This is July. This is the July print. So that means there's the September. No. September. Oh, it's only 2 more. This is number 10. This is July. There's 2 more. The one I'm tracing right now, that's the September print. No, September. Yeah, that's the September print, the one I'm tracing. And then the one Chon-san is doing, the Chinese empresses on their truck, on their car, that will be the November print. So this is number 10. And there are 2 more left after this. Okay, tell you what, I know the job that I was thinking of having to do this morning was tracing, but I really, really, really would like to get a head start on the work on embossing these, because these have to be shipped on Monday out to Ome. So let's do this then. Maybe we'll split the work here. It's 8:15 now. Let me do the first half hour embossing. And then the last half hour, maybe we can come back to tracing. Let's see. I would just like to look at this print a bit more. We have our board ready for embossing it. It's a boarded bird. Carver Casey, printer Kubota. Here it is. Hori Casey Suri Kubota Kenichi. Let's see if we've got this in the right place. No. Is that a good position? Should be a bit tucked in a bit closer, I think. Let's put it in a bit closer. Also, I have a small little problem here before I can continue with this work. Did you notice? Did you hear that little catch? As I was printing this just now, it caught a little bit on the edge of the paper here. Why? Because finally the baron I've been using here for doing this work has cracked and broken. Look at this. So here's our chance. This baron has to be recovered. Now I'm not set up for doing it. I don't have anything prepared here. I don't have a softened skin. I don't have anything ready to prepare for it. So I'm going to run upstairs and get another one. But before I do, this is a chance to show everybody, people who don't know, what is actually inside these things. Let's have a look at this. We can use the string again. Ayumi-san upstairs, she will retie this for us. We can use the string again. There's the skin. And inside we have, this is inside these things. Now this is not a super expensive real hombaran. This is actually a student tool. And what we've got here inside this thing, oh, it's all glued down. I can't pick it up. This is one of Goto-san's, what he calls murasaki barens. Murasaki is purple, and he uses a purple dyed cord for this. And this one is old. And you can see, if I move it in the light, you can see the dots inside this thing, if we zoom in a bit more, are really, really flattened out. A brand new one of these would have a strong bump on the top of each one of these folds in the coil. But this one's worn out. These are very much flattened. This is quite smooth. That's no tragedy, and actually it suits very nicely the work we need here. But if you were looking for maximum power in your Baron, you wouldn't get it from this, because all these bumps have a flat top. You can see where they're shining. So the strength in this thing has been decreasing day by day, week by week over the years. And whereas it used to be a very powerful Baron, now it's a medium light one. I wish he didn't glue it down, because we should be able to flip this over and use the back side of it, and that really gives it back its original power. I wasn't aware he was gluing these down. I don't think that's such a good idea. Anyway, to be able to do our work this morning right now, I need to get another one of these things. Excuse me a moment, I'm going to run upstairs to the 3rd floor, grab another one from the workroom up there, borrow it, and get going on the work. Back in 2-3 minutes. Don't know how far the Wi-Fi will go. I'm now heading up the stairs to the 2nd floor. You've seen this Baron before. Not in exactly the same form. You've seen it wrapped with aluminum foil. Does that ring any bells to anybody out there? Why would you have seen this Baron wrapped in aluminum foil? Anyway, this will go upstairs. Aimi-san will tie this for us sometime later this week. Yeah, this is the Baron that was a gift from Kubota-san. He gave it to me so many years ago. It would have been, when was the story? Was it at the halfway exhibition or was it at the final exhibition? I think it was the halfway exhibition for the Poet Series. It would have been 1994. So January 1994. I know. Kubota-san gave that to me as a gift. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful gift. And here we are, still using it. Of course, of course, of course, it's going to last my lifetime easily. As I showed you before with that other Baron that was wearing out, they never die. They just get older and weaker and older and weaker. I mean, there's no joke here. The Baron starts, whatever style it is, starts with good, strong, tight coils. As you rub it and rub it and rub it, the coils get beaten down and they get softer. And then eventually they get to a point where they're so soft you can't really use it for good, rich, and deep color anymore. So at that point, you open the coil, put it on a steam kettle, open it, and retie it so that different parts are bumpy. Taran-san, you're just joining us, are you? Taran-san is here? Here's your batch of prints, sir, back from Kubota-san. Taran-san, it doesn't say Taran for this. He has asked that we use katakana of Keisi. So it says Hori Keisi Suri Kubota Ken Ichi is the designation. And this is Taran-san's last job on this Hokusai series. Some of the previous ones he took over from his sensei, Asuka-san. This one, there's no connection. Taran-san did this one start to finish. He did all the tracing and then started the block and did all the carving. And there's two more left in this series, one of which I am doing. You see me tracing it now. And the last one will be work from Chon-san. Taran-san, while we've got you here, do we have any news on the home front? Do you have an update for us? Are all things are scheduled? Things are proceeding according to schedule? Everything's okay? This week, people are asking what's happening this week. For those who don't know, Taran-san, one of our carvers, his partner is married to Aino-san, who also works here. And she at the moment is on maternity leave. And that's what's happening this week. As Taran-san said, any day now. Their life will be changing very dramatically.
Kubota-san still, after all these years working for us, he still won't do this job, I have nothing but admiration for the guy. We praise him to the skies here. Without him, we pretty much almost couldn't even move forward these days. But one thing he is adamant about, he just will not bend on this concept. He doesn't care about having his name on there. And it's not just he doesn't care about it, he won't put his name on here. This is what we're doing now. We're putting the names of the two people on, the people who made this print, the carver and printer. But Kubota-san feels that the craftsman should be anonymous. I don't know how much he really believes this or how much he's just trying to be polite. Because he's one of these people, he's not British, but he's got British in him. For example, the other day, when I sent him the next job, the one that he has started to do now, after this job, it's one of the heroes prints. You saw just now the Dragon's Gift. Kubota-san is now doing another one of those heroes prints. They're on fairly thick paper, and they need full color everywhere, the background, just like that Dragon's Gift print I showed you just now. There's printing over printing over printing. And the modern paper we get is fairly rough. So sometimes it's a bit difficult to print smooth color on it. So the first step for a printer like Kubota-san, before he starts doing the printing of that thing, he will get the bare paper, put it on a blank wood block, and he will rub the back of it with his baron all over to make it flat and smooth before even starting the printing. It's called ura baren. Ura is backside. Now, we're sort of trying to help him out with this. I feel a bit bad because the paper I'm sending him is so rough. So the other day, before I sent him the paper, I had a free schedule on this. And I said, Kubota-san, I'm ready to send you the paper. Tell you what, I've got a couple of hours today. Shall I take it upstairs and run it through our press to calendar it smooth for you? Now, this is actually a big help. It means he doesn't have to do this by hand, one by one, for each of these couple of hundred sheets I'm sending him. I'm thinking, this is a big deal, me running one by one through the press. But his character, and I knew this, the answer came back, I knew what it was going to be. He'd say, no, it's okay. I don't want to put that effort onto you, I'll do it myself. Now, it's a little bit of effort for me because it's a press, but it's a lot of effort for him because it's this. So I know he's just being polite. So I push a little bit more and say, no, Kubota-san, hontoni, I'm okay. I can put some music on while I'm doing this. It will actually be quite relaxing for me to get away from my computer, whatever. Let me do this. And his answer again is, nah, it's okay. Don't worry. I can't ask you to do that. I'll do it myself. It's these two stupid British people standing in front of an elevator. No, you go. Now, I know his job, so there's a possibility that maybe he really doesn't want me to do it because he thinks I do it badly, he'll do it better. This could be possible, and if that were true, I should back off and say, okay, I understand. All right, no problem. I'll just send the paper and get off. But I know his job. I know. Doing it on the press is smooth and clean. When he opens the package of paper, he'll go, ooh. It'll be pleasure for him, and he won't have to do a full day's work of rubbing. But he can't admit this. So the other day, I just said, じゃあ、ここでやります. I just said so. Okay, I'll do it here. I didn't even ask anymore. I'll do it here. We'll wrap it up. If it arrives Thursday morning, is that okay? I didn't ask for permission anymore for rubbing. I just said, if it arrives Thursday morning, it's okay. And he's like, at that point, yeah, yote dori, that's the plan. So I won this one. We hung up and whatever, and I went upstairs and I did the job. Now, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm the boss here. I've got other work to do. I got videos to make, whatever. But I couldn't bear to think that the guy was going to have to sit there and rub. But he can't admit to this. But the other, long story short, this is the one, we say we want the craftsman's name in it. He says, no, we don't need this. inside him, really, is he happy this? Because he doesn't do it, I end up doing it. He won't admit to do this. So this one costs me extra time and trouble. It's the other way round. But he still won't do it. I need reverse psychology. Do I? What should I tell him? Next time, try and get the paper as flat as we do with the press. You mean pretend that he's doing it not well? I don't know. I don't know. And please understand, I'm not dissing the guy in any way whatsoever. We have huge respect for him. My God, for us, he's just God. There's nothing else to say. We have, whatever, just incredible amount of respect for the man, for every reason, for the quality of his work, for his personality, for his character. He's just such a nice guy. He must be now, I guess, what is he, 77? Maybe 6, 7 or 8. I don't know. He's in that area somewhere, 77. He's already retired once, came back because he just couldn't sit there and do nothing, you know. And he's doing so much work for us. He is far and away our most productive person. And when he finally does, one day, when he finally does say, Dave, you know, I'm sorry, I just can't do this anymore. When he finally does say that, it's going to be the saddest day in our company history. Absolutely. Well, somebody's saying it's a shame he won't teach people. I mean, he did. He's been through that. When he worked at Adachi, one of his main jobs, of course, was working with the trainees. And he's done that. Decade after decade, he did that. You know, some of them turned out to be good workers. The lady who did the Dragon Ball print, the one I showed you a few minutes ago, she's a Kubota protege. She went to Adachi in the beginning, and she learned under Kubota-san. He's got huge respect for her. She's one that came through the training process. Another one is Yamamoto-san, who doesn't seem to be active at the moment. Another one that Kubota-san trained or helped train was Suga-san, the young lady who used to work for us, until she had to quit last year to take care of her husband's mother. So Kubota-san, there's no way he's going to start all over again trying to train somebody else. They all quit. There's a poster I saw somewhere, I don't know where, a million years ago, not here in Japan, it was in Canada somewhere. I'm in some, whatever, it's a restaurant or an office or somewhere, I don't know where it was. It was a silly joke poster, it's on the wall, and it said, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember the exact words. It said, you don't have to be crazy to work here, but it helps. Something like that, I can't remember the exact poster. It was a joke, a gag poster, whatever. But it's sort of, that's our job, that's what we do here. To be this kind of a printer, whatever, to be doing this kind of stuff, or to be training for this kind of stuff. You don't have to be crazy to do this, but What's somebody talking about here? Marion visiting the papermaking village soon. What's this all about? Marion, are we talking about Sensei Marjin? He had mentioned before that he might end up in that area. He wasn't sure last time I spoke to him. Is there news here that I don't know about? Is the sensei going through the papermaking village? Sensei Marjin might be stopping by Echizen. Are you asking me or please let me know what's going on here. Because it's a little bit, well, I don't know if it's out of his way. I mean, he's going one end of the country to the other. But if you were trying to go the straightest or quickest way, you wouldn't be going up there. But if he is, then I'd like to hear about it. We can tie him up with some people up there, let them know he's coming. I guess I should write to him. People are asking what's going on here. Let's show one then. This is the craftsman's names going into the print here. We have a polymer plate. This is not carved. It could have been carved, but we can get reasonable here. It's a polymer plate with the name of the printer and the carver. And what you're seeing here is reversed, of course. That's the names backwards. If you try and read that, it's backwards. Excuse me. And the result, once you get it onto the paper, is... where am I? Can't find it. Here's the result. It's embossed on the paper. Hori Keisi Suri Kubota Kenichi. We have... Okay, a few things else to talk about. There are things going on. The other day here, what was it? Today's Saturday. On Thursday, we had a drop-in visit at the end of the stream, near the end of the stream. We had a visit from Mafalda-san, a friend of ours from Switzerland, Portugal/Switzerland, who is an ink painter. And it was nice having her here, chat this and that, but partway along, I sort of realized that we were doing something a bit strange. She and I were chatting about her work, and yet we didn't really see any of her work. We were chatting about how to use the brush for doing ink painting and stuff like this, and yet we couldn't see any of it. And I think I mentioned this during the stream, it's a bit frustrating to do all this talk but not do any show. So when she and I were chatting, got a cup of coffee, whatever, chatting at the end of the stream, before she went home, she has still a few more days here in Tokyo before heading up to Kanazawa for her studying and painting work. So she and I said, I'm like, what do you think about this? And she's like, could we really do this? And we've booked it. Today is Saturday. The next stream here, Monday, 2 days from now, I won't be sitting here at the bench. I will be sitting on the guest chair. Mafalda-san will be sitting on where I am now, and we were going to clear the desk off this. We've got some nice, beautiful Gampi paper ready. She will bring brush and ink, and we are going to spend pretty much the entire stream. We're going to start at 8 o'clock normal time. She's going to get some ink going with some white paper, and we're all going to get a tutorial on, I don't know, whatever she's going to draw, you know, some rocks or bamboo or I don't even know, whatever. We're going to get a tutorial on this. Now, whether I'm going to bug her with too many questions and she'll say, shut up and let me get to work, or whether I have no idea how it's going to go. So it's going to be Suiboku ga live Monday morning here at 8 o'clock, Japan time. And you can tell your friends. I don't know if the lady is here this morning or not, or she's out already doing something else. But we've booked it. We've booked this. She will be here Monday morning. We haven't talked about a paycheck yet. Oh, she is here. She is here. It's Japanese ink painting. Okay, that's the lady then. All right. Okay. I didn't know who's the ID, whatever. The pressure, the pressure, the pressure. No, this will be so much fun. I don't know why we didn't think about doing this before. We should charge admission or something. I'm not sure about camera setup. I'll have to figure it out. The main camera, I guess we'll leave it like this on the bench. Maybe it will zoom out a bit more. I'm not sure. I don't know how much space she needs. We can adjust that. So we'll leave that camera there. The main camera will be her work. I think I will sit on the guest chair with the other camera. So I'm not sure. Then in the top left corner, maybe we'll use the same kind of view, a distant camera showing the two of us together perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. We'll work it out. But the main camera will be her bench here. And actually, it's going to be easy because it turns out that Mafalda-san is left-handed. Now, we've got this bench all set up. Dave's a lefty. The camera shows from the right. So if I was a right-handed carver when I'm doing the carving here, you'd never be able to see the work with this current setup. But it turns out, luckily, Mafalda-san is left-handed. So she will be sitting here, I don't know, with a brush, whatever. I presume it'll look something like this. She will have paper. She will be doing something. And I think we will get a wonderful, wonderful view of this. So I think we'll just keep the setup pretty much just like we do it normally. Simply, she and I will change places. So set your calendars. It's interesting, because that's the one thing that really we can't do in a printmaking environment. We did it, start to finish, show the blank piece of paper and then the finished product. Of course, for most of our work, that's simply not possible. I mean, we've done that on the stream a few years ago with the onsen print, the young girl in the bath. And then Taran-san and I did it again last year. And that video, hopefully soon, I'll be getting to edit. My current video project now is get this papermaking video up. And as soon as that's up, I'm going to grab the next one, which is the one that's already in the can. Taran-san and I doing that after the rain prints. That will be up on video next after this one. And then we'll take it from there. But we can't make a print start to finish. So something like we're going to see on Monday, Mafalda-san will have blank paper, and maybe she'll do exercises first or something, showing us how leaves are painted, whatever. And then I think after that, she will grab a piece of paper and she will create an image for us, you know, or while we watch. Oh yeah, or maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, it's okay. You know, imagine the idea. Someone like her working with a brush. It's sort of like the Bob Ross thing, isn't it? You put your brush onto paper, and then maybe if you had planned to make a leaf here, but it turns out, oops. You don't say, oops. It's the Bob Ross thing. You know, you just turn it into something. Turn it into something legitimate, I guess. There are no oops moments, I suppose. I don't know. Weather seems okay still. The forecast is for rain later today, but I think at the moment it's looking like the best. Sunny, maybe slightly hazy out there. The forecast for this evening is rain, drizzle and rain. Looking at the back of the paper, and I wonder, Kubota-san may have actually, even though I pressed the paper before sending it to him, as that conversation earlier today, he may also have done urabaran himself. I don't know. He's inspected them one by one. Each one of the sheets has a very tiny little notch on the corner. And the corner he knows that will be trimmed later. Look at this. The corner's cut here. Now you've seen the corner cutting thing before. When we get prints back from some of the printers, there might be slash. A major corner might be chopped off. And that's a warning from the printer. Hey, there's something wrong with this. This is not a good print to sell. Even if you don't notice, don't do this. So, but he's got every one, and the whole stack here. The top right corner is slightly trimmed. And what's happened there is this. I gave him the sheets. They're actually a little bit oversized. Before we do ship them, this right margin will be trimmed and the top margin will be trimmed. He knows this. But what he must have done is he saw, maybe he took a proof first of one print. Then he took each sheet of paper and looked and checked for chiri. And if he saw a piece of paper that had chiri that would show maybe in the guy's face or near the guy's face, he would turn that piece of paper around the other way and then it matches. Remember, the paper at that point is just simply a rectangular sheet. It doesn't have a top or a bottom, doesn't have anything. It's just a blank sheet of paper. But if we're going to register to this corner, that piece of paper may have had chili on the guy's face, so he would twitch around and then make a mark on one corner. And then he could go ahead and do the paper moistening, and he would know when it came time to start printing, he would now know which corner is the corner to use as the registration corner. He would have calculated first which is the best way for that sheet of paper to go in the block. And to tell him, choop, he slices off that little corner, which he knows will be cut off later, and that gives him the message. Yep, that's the good corner. Do it this way. Don't do it this way. The guy is so thorough and so careful. He's gone through the entire deck of blank paper before even starting to do the moistening, before starting anything. He's gone through the deck one by one, looking for the best alignment because we have open white spaces here. That's how careful and that's how thorough he is on this. But he won't go through one more time to put his name on. How many in stock? There's nearly 200. I don't know how many exactly. I'm sorry. I gave him, it might not be 200. The master sheets that I cut it from give 8 sheets. So it's going to be some multiple of 8. Yeah, so it could be 200. How's our time? Oh, it's nearly 9 o'clock already. Nanda. Ja, what did I say? Like I'll do the first half embossing, switch to tracing for the second, then do show and tell. It doesn't make any sense now. It's 9 o'clock already. Okay, I'll just keep at this then for 15 more minutes. Sadako will show up somewhere around 9:10, and we'll move to show and tell. And show and tell today will be a pickup and continuation of a show and tell from last week. We got a package of Hokusai tokaido prints. We started to look at them and we didn't finish. But since that time, I have got other news about Hokusai tokaido. So we will pick up and continue from that show and tell last week. So we'll just keep on this. It's now a couple of minutes before 9 o'clock. I'll do this for 15 more minutes. And then we'll switch to show and tell. And to repeat, we should mention this now a few more times before the end of the stream because people might be leaving early. The next stream on Monday will be a special stream. We have a special guest, and Dave's going to get out of the chair. The special guest will sit in the chair and demonstrate sumi brush painting for the content of the stream. It'll be Mafalda-san visiting on Monday with brush in hand. Yes, 25 it is. I know. So I must have picked up 25 sheets of the original washi paper, sized them first, then I sliced it all up into 1/8, put them all through the press. It was a ton of work for me to get this paper ready for him, you know. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Did we get it? 9 o'clock on a Saturday. The regular shufflers crowd in. As soon as we're finished on the stream here, I will be heading off to the 7-Eleven for a few minutes. I'm trying to remember. I do the New York Times weekend puzzle, crossword puzzle. It's my only last remnant of time wasting. I do the New York Times Sunday puzzle, and I'm not a subscriber to their online stuff, but they do publish a newspaper here in Tokyo in combination with the Japan Times. So the New York Times International Edition is available here. But on the weekends, they do a combined. They don't do a paper Saturday and then a separate paper Sunday. So they just do a weekend edition, Saturday, Sunday. And it goes on sale Saturday mornings. And I try to remember to get down there so that I can pick up a copy because it has the Sunday puzzle in it. But if I forget Saturday, if we get too busy in the shop and I forget, then I'm hosed because by the time Sunday comes along, they're all sold out and that's it. They only get 2 or 3 copies here. So I will be trying to remember to go to 7-Eleven after the stream here. Oh, that's something else. Speaking about 7-Eleven reminds me, we had a fun experience here a while ago that I've mentioned a couple of times to other people, and they're all like, what? What's going on? What's the expression people talk about these days? When you take a normal consumer activity or a normal product and you use it in ways that you're not supposed to use it. What do they call it? They call it like hacking. Hacking something, hacking your lifestyle or hacking whatever. There's a fun way we found, and this goes back actually about 3 weeks or 4 weeks. There's a fun way we found to hack one of the 7-Eleven products. So to say life hacks, I guess, whatever. Okay, life hack. Okay. I mean, this is, please don't get too excited here. This is not something that's going to change your life. We have a mini life hack. 7-Eleven, a month or so ago, or 2 months ago, they started making, they've got a new smoothie machine here in the 7-Elevens in Tokyo, in Japan, I guess. 7-Eleven, forget whatever you know about 7-Eleven and smoothies in America, but we have here now in 7-Eleven smoothies. There's a refrigerator at the back of the shop, and on the shelf is plastic cups, and one plastic cup might be full of some frozen fruit, blueberries, pineapple slices, or whatever. Next plastic cup has banana slices, mango slices, whatever. Next one has whatever. There are all these different flavors. And the cup itself is just frozen fruit, chopped up in different pieces. There's a green one with some vegetables and stuff, whatever, I don't even know. So anyway, you go to the cash register, you buy it, and you're finished, and the guy goes, okay, thank you. And if you don't know, he points you over, and there's a machine on the counter near the register. You then take your little cup of frozen fruit that you've bought. It's got a barcode on the top. You show it to the machine. It goes beep, and it then says, open door. You open the door, take the cover off, put the thing in, close the door, and it then does its magic. It seals the thing down. It comes in, it sprays water, it spins and whatever, and you end up with your smoothie, which is made from the frozen contents of whatever the one you bought is. And it's just chunks of fresh fruit. I don't know what else gets sprayed into it. They don't use any milk. It's not a milkshake. I think it would just be ice water, whatever. And anyway, if you come up with a really cold, it's so cold that it makes the back of your throat hurt when you drink it. Anyway, the hack is this. You take it out of the thing at the back. It's just a cup of frozen fruit. You take it to the counter, you buy it, and then you go home. But what I also bought, as well as this, is I bought a can of what's called chuhai. Chuhai. What's the, I don't know what they're called in the West. A chuhai drink. It might be a bit of spirits. It could be a bit of vodka or shochu or something. And then it's got lemon juice and whatever, and it's fizzy and it fills out. Shochu highball or something like this. It's a drink. So you buy one of those cold, and you buy the cup of ice, and you don't put it in the machine. You just go home. You open it up, pour your chuhai into the frozen fruit, wait 5 or 10 minutes, stir it up, and you've got a really, really nice... Now, we had some of these. The reason I talking about this, because 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, whatever, one Sunday here, we had the Sunday crew who was here, Udagawa-san, Utsugi-san, Sadako-san, whatever. It was so busy. so busy, the ladies hadn't had chance to get out for lunch. And they're Japanese workers. They didn't complain. They didn't say, "Where's my lunch?" They didn't just go out and leave me with 5,000 customers. They hung in and did their job and whatever, right through lunch. And it got to be 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock. Finally, it clears out a bit. And I'm sitting there. These ladies didn't get a lunch break, whatever. So I said, "Hey, whatever, let me grab down 7-Eleven and I'll get some stuff for us, whatever." And they're like, "Okay, thanks, Dave, because maybe more customers were coming any minute later." So I go to 7 and I get some quick stuff, a couple of sandwiches, some onigiri, some whatever. I don't even remember what I got. And then I got 4 of these cups of fruit. Now we're in the middle of the day, so I couldn't buy the vodka, whatever. But I just got juice. I got fresh, like a what do you call it when it's fizzy, sparkling. I got a sparkling cold drink, lemon drink or whatever. Brought it back, and that's what we had for lunch. But they were knocked out at the idea of hacking a 7-Eleven product like this. Would 7-Eleven care about this? Their system now, it recognizes that 4 smoothies were sold, but the machine didn't make those 4 smoothies. I guess their system must be counting this. Oh, news. Sensei Margin says he will be in Echizen on Wednesday. Soka, just not one of our stream days. Ha ha ha. Okay. All right, anyway, I'll write a note. I'll drop a note. You didn't know it was there, or?
I was watching the camera.
In case you hadn't noticed, Sadako's here. So they're all asking, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Should we call an ambulance?"
Yes, please.
Is it lower than normal? I don't know. I don't think so.
It's my fault.
Someone's asking, "Is the shutter okay?" Thanks a lot. Who was that masked man anyway? There's a suggestion that Mokuhankan staff needs to start wearing helmets. It's Koringami. He has a history with that shutter, actually. Koringami has a history with our shutter, but actually he's probably not so happy with what we're doing. The shutter is part way down. It's about a little bit more than halfway down, which Koringami is not so happy about. It's the illustration. We have an illustration of a lantern on the front of it, and Koringami is the one who put together the Photoshop file that we sent to the printer. So. Okay, how's our time? 9:10. Okay, I'll keep this up for a few more minutes, then we'll switch to show and tell. Is it hot out there yet? It's sunny, but I guess it's rainy. It's rainy tonight, is that?
No, rain.
Oh, just before the stream, I went to the Tokyo weather forecast, and it said sunny this morning, 40% chance of rain this afternoon, 90% chance of rain this evening. I'm not arguing with you, but that's the forecast I got here just before opening the stream. But we had the same discussion like last week or 2 weeks ago, right? So I think your weather forecast out where you live.
They're constantly changing.
Yeah, but Sadako lives like 2 hours out on the train to the west of here. So the weather out there forecast and the weather here quite possibly is different. So she says no rain. I think whatever the forecast I read says rain, so we'll see what happens. No idea. So I was asking, what is a good day to visit the shop? Well, any day but Tuesday. We're closed Tuesdays, so don't try that. And you said, what did you say? I was half reading it. December, January. If you're over the New Year, be careful, because we will be closed for a few days in the New Year holiday. And then other than that, we're closed Tuesdays. Other than that, what days I'm here, that's a gamble. If you really did want to say hello, then before you come, drop us an email or call a few days before you come to see if I'll be here or not. Next week, for example, there's a few days I won't be here. I'll be going out to the Ome workshop. We're doing a massive inventory check. So I'll be out in Ome. And then a couple of weeks after that, I'll be back up in Fukui again on a visit to the paper makers. And then somebody's asking, will there be a stream that day? No, we will be very, very busy. It's inventory. I'm going up there with Naomi-san and Watanabe-san, two of our employees, and we're going to be counting every print in the building. It's our financial year end at the end of June. So we have to do a massive inventory check. So I'm saying, how much paper do they make? You work at a paper mill. I'm not quite sure how to ask you. We don't make paper here. We buy it. We've never made our own paper. It's not normal for a print workshop to make their own paper. We buy it, of course. Yes, we know about Awagami's work. We've talked to them many, many times. They have brought samples of paper for me to try. They would love it if we were going to be using their paper. It's not really suitable for the kind of work we do. It's not bad, no insult to Awagami. They're a wonderful operation, making lots of interesting papers, very useful to the world. Their particular products don't match our particular needs, and they know that. But yeah, cool place, lots of cool people working there. We're digging through this. We're not going to get them all done here. It's 9:15. Okay, let's put this away for a few minutes then and switch to our show and tell mode. Thanks for your patience with the work today. It's not really much to do with Japanese printmaking, but it is work that I do have to get done. So thank you for your patience. The next stream will be different for sure. Okay, let's go back in time for a few minutes. I showed you this folder a few weeks ago. They are woodblock prints made in the Taisho era, based on original images from the early 1800s. And a date was passed around something like 1805 or 1810 for the originals of this. We have prints by Hokusai. It's one of his Tokaido series. And I didn't know at the point when I was showing you these that last week, but when I looked it up later on, he's known for at least 7 full Tokaido sets, of which this is just one. And they were mostly done when he was early in his career. 1805 was the date we came up. Remember, Sadako, we were looking at this last week, a few of them. Now, we got about halfway through this pile showing you these, and after the stream was over, I remembered something that I knew they looked familiar. I knew I had seen the series before here and there. What I didn't know was, I'm sorry to have to admit this, what I didn't know was I actually have the whole set of Hokusai Tokaido prints. But I have them in an interesting form. They are not woodblock prints. This is produced in, I believe, the Taisho era, about the same time that these prints were made, but these are not woodblock. This is a form of early, let go, it's okay, I got it. It'll go behind here. I think it'll stay. It'll stay there, thank you. Good. So we can put them side by side. So what we have here, it's interesting. We have Taisho era woodblock prints and a Taisho era book of replicas taken from the originals. And let's see if we can find some that match up. Maizaka is near the end of the street, where would it be, Sadako? Maizaka. Are we going to find that here? Let's see if we can find some that match up here. Can you poke through here? Oh, here we are. You've got one. Here we go. There's one right away. So let's do it this way. Let's put that there and put this in and out. There's the commercially published version, and here's the actual woodblock version. Now, they weren't obviously copied from the same original. For example, look at the sky gradation up at the top. On the woodblock version, it's quite thin, and on the other version, it's quite thick. So they would have perhaps copied a different single sheet for their original. So there's many little details different. But overall, we have the real prints are actually a bit too bright, and the other ones are closer to what the print actually looked like in the older days. So in this case, actually, for learning what the original looked like, this printed version is superior. Have we got the next one lined up, or is that what you're looking for? No, we don't know.
Okay. Mia.
Mia, okay, where are we? We're near the end here. What have you got? Here, I've got Mia here. Okay. Have you got Mia?
Yep.
Can I slide this across then, just a sec? Thank you. There's the woodblock version. So obviously they're the same print, but they must have had quite a different copy to start with. This is an unusual one for Hokusai to show. Sadako, look at this. We've got a scene here with no people visible.
Mm.
That's like more of a Hiroshige print, boats sailing with no people around, but Hokusai's prints are usually full of people. This is really unusual. I'm wondering, maybe did he do it, or one of his apprentices would have done it? I don't know. All of this is easily 100 years old. The prints we're holding here are Taisho era. I'd put it at maybe 1910, 1915, maybe as late as 1920. And this book, it's not published with a date, we don't know exactly, but it is clearly from that same era. when Japan was experimenting with different ways of actually doing color printing. These gradations are half tones. It's not spot color. Some of it is spot color, but anything with a gradation is a half tone. Sorry. Yui, that's in the first half to show. Okay. They're okay, they're in the first half. Yui would be somewhere. Kambara. Here, Yui is here. So we saw that one the other day to show. So look at the difference. Woo, 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 woo. Look at the difference there. Wow.
Paper is quite different.
Interesting. I think what the guys who did this version, remember the original prints here would have been about 1805. This is before the era of Prussian blue coming into Japan. When you think about this, we all think of Hokusai and we think of this deep, rich Prussian blue that he used on all of his prints at the end of his life. But this series, when he did this series, Prussian blue hadn't yet come into Japan. So this reproduction set, they have maybe gone back to a more original version from the 1805. But these guys making the Taisho reproduction, this is, what do you call it? It's an anachronism. They've made a reproduction of a print from 1805, but they're using pigments that didn't exist in Japan in this time. So there's no question about it. This version we've got here, these Taisho reproductions, they're kind of cool, they're kind of colorful, they're kind of nice, but they're really, when you think about it, they're really anachronistic. But I guess when they made these, they weren't trying to make replicas. Nobody was saying this is exactly the same as the old version. They were just ripping the stuff off. It took old Hokusai prints, put them on paper and tried to make money out of it. Which ones didn't we see the other day? Can you go to the bottom of the pile? I think these are the ones we were looking at the other day. We saw that horse, so I don't think we saw that one. Let's have a look. So if I can find that here. Goyu. I don't remember. We got more horses. Let's have a look at it. Arai, that's in the last half, right? So it'll be... Okay, let's have a look. Here we are. Arai, we have Arai. More Hokusai horses. Early day Hokusai horses. And we've all been joking about this the other day. And this is before, look at this, stiff-legged, unnatural. The guy at this point still wasn't good at this. So this is, you know the story of this, to show Arai. This is one of the checking stations on the highway. There were many stations down the highway, but there were, how many were there all the way between Edo and Tokyo? How many major?
50.
No, but I mean like Arai, where you had to unload your goods, you had to show what you were carrying, you had to put your paperwork in. That didn't happen at every station, not at all. So I don't know how many. There were 3 or 4. I don't know the details. Major. Hakone was one. This is one. Arai, where all the people going down the highway. It was a literal barrier. Are you coming in? Show your paperwork. Unload your stuff. Show us what's inside. Put it back together, and away you go. It was a big deal, and it must have been real trouble for people who were going down the highway.
Especially ladies.
I guess so. We hear those stories. So the ladies had to go into a back room and
almost get naked.
Prove who they were, whatever.
Hair must be
yeah. There's some terrible stories about that. They were avoiding smuggling. They were avoiding people doing tricky things. Whatever.
We were not allowed to go out of Edo. And here's interesting, Mitsuke horse, another horse.
Okay, can we find Mitsuke then? That's in the front section. So let me try and find it. 1 sec. Mitsuke is, where's Mitsuke?
29.
Oh, they're numbered. On that series, they're numbered. They're not numbered on this one here. Whatever, 20, 26, 27, 28. Oh, it's the first one on the back side. Ha, 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 ha. Here we go.
Here's another horse. Yeah, deep blue.
Yeah, I'm gotta say, although I like woodblock prints and I like, carving and printing like this, as far as the overall appearance go, I much prefer this one, I much prefer it. This isn't the woodblock print. This is some mechanical thing. They have photographed some original print, made separate color blocks for it. The registration in some places not so great. Look at this. Can we zoom in? Is it going to get there? This is early color printing. I mean, early mechanical color printing, and the registration here is not perfect at all. Someone's asking about the paper color. This book, it would have been lighter than this, but in no way do I think this would have been a bright white paper. This is not hosho washi paper, but it would not have faded all that much. This book would have been made, I believe, on a kind of toned paper. Don't quote me, but I don't think it would have been expected to be as white as this. This is a paper-making paper. I don't know. It's a kozo paper of some type. And it's also been stored very well. It's been closed up, out of sight, absolutely. So it's had no chance to become oxidized. You can see at the edge where the oxygen has had a chance to get into the stack. There's a bit of toning and fading along the edge of the paper sheets. I don't know about these early horses, to show. We're waiting for someone to do a book about Hokusai horses. Leaner and less realistic, all with straight legs, and all with, like, they have this eye. They've all got eyes, which they don't have in his later times. Did a horse actually stand like this with long, stiff, straight legs, all 4 feet looking exactly the same? Heavily laden. And what's happening here? I guess there's a strap under the tail or something to hold the goods on. I don't know. No idea. Anyway, these early Hokusai horses don't look all that comfortable. So, have you got another one? That's interesting. What have we got? Where is that?
Blue.
Takaze, what number? 18.
18.
Okay, so we go back to the bin.
13.
13, 15, 16, 17, 18. Here we are. Yeah, the blue, the crazy blue to show. So completely and totally anachronistic, I wonder. So it's like what they've done here, it's like when you recolorize an old movie, an old black and white movie, you colorize it. There's people that are going to say, wow, ooh, cool. And there's people that are going to say sacrilege. And that's what's happened here. Doesn't matter, a print is a print. It very much fits the Taisho mood. Jet black outlines, very hard, brittle carving, and deep, saturated color. It's very much a print of its day, 1910, 15, somewhere on there. But the other ones are so much nicer. Okay, one last word. We're getting now towards 9:30, towards the end of this. There is one more. I told you at the end of the other stream, I remembered that I had this book. Obviously I have too many prints. I also remembered something else, because when I went to ukiyo-e.org to look up Hokusai Tokaido to see how many sets he had made, and finding out that there were about 7 Hokusai Tokaidos, I then remembered I actually, in the collection, I have an original from Hokusai's time of one of his Tokaido sets. This is very young Hokusai. Maybe he's not even 30 years old yet. This is the station called Fuchu. And the name he's using at that time, I guess, I don't know. So, and this is an actual original Hokusai from that era. I do have too many prints. I didn't even remember I had this. What's the connection with Tokaido? I really don't know. The guy's making baskets. Maybe that station was famous for baskets. No idea. So it's the distance to show. It's a little bit of information here. The next station must have been Mariko, and they are saying ni. Is it ni? Is it ni or ichi? It's hard. Look at that. Is that a slash or a number?
Yeah.
I don't know. It says either it says Mariko station is ichidi han 1.8d, or it's maybe 2.8, but that doesn't look like a 2.
But rough.
Yeah, very rough. So I don't know. So it's a mile marker. It's letting you know how far to the next station. As to why we are visiting a basket maker, I don't know. Is she bringing tea or sake? I guess she's bringing tea. There we have it. Our last little view of a Hokusai Tokaido print. Okay, thank you very much. So a reminder now, today's Saturday, Monday stream will be completely, totally different special. Mafalda-san, who was here the other day, is coming back, and she and I are going to swap. She's going to sit here with her brushes, and you will see, pressure, 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 you will see she's going to teach us something about ink painting, how the brush is used, and maybe she will, whatever, make an actual painting while we watch. I will be her guest on Monday. See you then. Thank you very much. Let's take a peek outside. Somebody's waiting for something. Look at that. No idea. I don't think he's waiting for us. Doesn't look like a typical Mokuhankan customer. Let's roll. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on Monday. It's clouding over, Sadako. We'll see what happens to the weather.
With white pants.
With white pants again. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Good night. I'll see you in a few days. 3, 2, 1. Signing off for now. Bye for now.